Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome to the channel. I'm Stylosa and this is going to be a big video. This is Overwatch 2's anti-cheat and anti-toxicity program. It is called Defense Matrix, and what we're going to do is break this down and see what Blizzard are trying to do to prevent hackers, prevent toxicity and bad behavior in Overwatch 2. It is a lot more comprehensive than what we've seen in Overwatch, and well, the main reason for that is Overwatch 2 is a free-to-play game. This means you will get a lot more players. Now, there are systems in place to prevent free-to-play accounts from immediately playing competitive. Notably, you have to win 50 games in quick play, and there are other things like hero unlocks for free-to-play accounts, and we'll go into detail on that in this video. Okay, let's get stuck into this. It's going to be a meaty video. There is a lot to cover, so let's do this. Overwatch 2 going free-to-play is driven by our belief that the game should be played and enjoyed alongside friends, and totally not because we want more money. On October the 4th, we are excited. By the way, they should make more money for making a good game. You know what I mean? It's fine. Make money. That's what games are about. Make the money, make the game. We love it. Okay, let's move on. On October the 4th, we are excited to welcome even more players into our universe. While this is an exciting time, we also recognize that free-to-play introduces new challenges in how we disincentivize, I guess, disruptive behavior and gameplay. We're ready to meet these challenges head-on with a new initiative we're calling Defense Matrix. Defense Matrix encompasses our infrastructure of systems designed to help protect the integrity of gameplay and promote positive behavior in Overwatch 2. This initiative is spearheaded by a group made up of cross-functional teams throughout Blizzard, and they have defined a set of goals that's guiding our mission to ensure a great experience for all Overwatch 2 players. And these goals are: define, develop, and nurture programs that will ensure a positive experience for all players. Ensure competitive integrity at every level of play by rapidly identifying and eliminating cheaters and disruptive players. Create a safer community both in and out of the game by embracing a firm stance against disruptive gameplay and enabling players who are both positive and constructive to be the leading voices in the community. These core philosophies guide the Defense Matrix team's efforts to work together to fortify Overwatch's security and game experience so every hero can play the game in a fair and safe environment. SMS Protect. The security of your account is important, and SMS Protect helps verify ownership of your account in the unforeseen event of an account's compromise. Similarly, if a disruptive player has been suspended or banned, SMS Protect makes it more difficult for them to return to the game. SMS Protect brings meaningful change when it comes to disruptive play. This additional layer of security is an industry-proven solution in combating both cheating and disruptive behavior, further protecting your account from bad actors. Starting October the 4th, 2022, which is of course the launch date of Overwatch 2, all players across all platforms, including consoles, are required to have a phone number attached to their Battle.net account to launch Overwatch 2. The same phone number cannot be used on multiple accounts at the same time, and players can't use the same phone number to create multiple accounts. A phone number can only be used once when making a new account, and certain types of numbers, including prepaid VoIP, cannot be used for SMS Protect. Even if you own a previous box version of the original Overwatch, you still need to activate SMS Protect to play Overwatch 2. Systems design. Overwatch is a social game with many in-game spaces where players interact, communicate, and work together. These spaces all improve the player experience through gameplay and interaction, whether in competitive, workshop, or quick play. As stewards of Overwatch, we're constantly evaluating our in-game systems. As part of this process, we've determined that there will be a few spaces that were not meeting expectations and needed improvement heading into the launch of Overwatch 2 and the weeks following. Machine learning and audio transcripts. For years, our team has used machine learning to detect and prevent disruptive behavior, cheating, and disruptive text chat. Our detection methods leverage multiple systems, including your in-game reports, to identify behavior that drives down the quality of the in-game experience. We're expanding our detection capabilities by introducing audio transcriptions in the following weeks after launch. Audio transcriptions will allow us to collect a temporary voice chat recording of a reported player and automatically transcribe it through text-to-speech programs. The text file is then analyzed for disruptive behavior by our chat review tools. Once the audio recording has been transcribed to text, it's quickly deleted as the file's sole purpose is to identify potentially disruptive behavior. The text file is then deleted no later than 30 days after the audio transcription. The system relies on players reporting disruptive behavior as soon as they encounter it in-game because we do not store voice chat data long-term. This means you should report disruptive behavior as it's occurring in-game to give us the best chance at detecting, catching, and preventing disruptive players. Your reports matter. Players reporting is one of the most effective methods for identifying and actioning disruptive behavior as quickly as possible. Okay, this is essentially it's kind of like a watered down version of what Riot used for Valorant. So Riot basically record all of your chat and they can listen back to it and go, oh, you said this in a game, you're going to get banned. This is not as invasive as that, it would appear. However, this is still capturing what you're saying over the microphone and then transcribing it through, well, text-to-speech programs or speech-to-text programs, and then giving them like a transcript of what you've said. Now, I would say obviously the straight up thing to say about this is it might get confused with various accents around the world. You know, not everyone talks in, can I say, standard American or standard British accents. That I guess these things are probably the best at picking up. You know, if you've got, all right, tell me how you're doing, you doing all right. That's a town that's very close to me in the UK. It probably wouldn't understand that. It might think that I'm being abusive when I'm not, and then ban me. I don't know. But this system is probably going to take some work to get running. But still, this does mean that, yeah, you cannot be toxic over voice chat. You will get detected, especially if players report as you're being toxic, because that'll flag up the system and it will start basically transcribing your audio to text. First-time user experience. The first-time user experience is an introduction to Overwatch 2 specifically designed for brand new players who make their account post-launch. We want the first-time user experience to welcome players more gradually to Overwatch 2, as we've seen consistent feedback from new players feeling overwhelmed by numerous game modes and heroes. New players begin with access to a limited set of game modes, heroes, and some other restrictions to onboard them more gradually. The first phase of our new FTUE rapidly unlocks all the game modes and the ability to chat in-game, and the second phase unlocks of all original Overwatch heroes over the course of approximately 100 matches. This focused experience eases new players into the world of Overwatch by teaching them about different modes, rules, and other high-level aspects of the game in an approachable way. Right, so that is saying if you're a free-to-play player, brand new to Overwatch, you've never touched the old game, you're going to need to play about 100 games of Overwatch just to unlock the hero roster. So you will have limited amounts of heroes available, and there'll probably be a way to, well, I think you can just buy the Watchpoint pack actually, and that would just give you access to all of the heroes, and you could just go from there. And then you'd need your 50 wins to get into competitive, I guess, and that would be the only restriction on your account. But yeah, there is a heavy restriction here on first-time users. Basically, new free-to-play accounts, heavily restricted, you need to win a ton of games, and they're saying this is because they want you to learn the ropes of Overwatch, which does make sense, but I'm sure people will be a bit like, wow, 100 matches, that's kind of a lot of Overwatch, but we'll have to wait and see. Most FTUE restrictions are lifted while in group, so new players can team up with their friends at any time to play almost any game modes. Competitive is the exception to this rule because new players must complete a specific challenge to access this game mode, and I believe the challenge is winning 50 games. I think it might go into detail on that anyway. Let's carry on. Requirements to enter competitive mode are changing with Overwatch 2. We are removing player levels in-game, so instead of having to reach a certain level, new players are now challenged to win 50 quick play matches before competitive unlocks. This gives new players time to prepare for the higher expectations that come with competitive, while long-term players don't feel disencouraged by teammates who have less experience. In the process of unlocking competitive, we analyze new player skill levels, optimize matchmaking in a way that feels good to everyone. While this process helps new players join in the fun, it's also an effective way to discourage disruptive behavior and cheating. FTUE is an investment to complete because it takes time to unlock game features. Competitive, specifically, cannot be accessed without winning matches. Disruptive players are unable to immediately affect the large community with things like voice chat and match chat unlocking later in FTUE. Brand new accounts made by cheaters or disruptive players will all have to play through this experience, giving us the chance to identify suspicious accounts before they enter other game modes. FTUE was designed to make Overwatch 2 a welcoming approachable and fun game for everyone who chooses to play. This experience only affects accounts made on or after the 4th of October release date. Anyone who played prior to that will not have to play through the first-time user experience. Okay, this is a very multi-layered system, isn't it, of preventing hackers basically and cheaters getting immediate access to competitive. There's a lot of loops and, I guess, hurdles they need to jump over or jump through. You would jump through the hoop, not the hurdle. Hopefully you jump over the hurdle, but you get what I'm saying, right? This is making it more difficult, making it more of a time investment. So hopefully we'll reduce the number of accounts that are basically boosted up to competitive and then being sold for cheating purposes. Now that's going to happen. I don't think Blizzard are ever going to be able to stop that, but this to me doesn't seem too bad when you look at it from that perspective. Obviously, if you are a legitimate first-time player, I think it is a lot of games to go through, these 100 wins or so to unlock the entire roster and go from there. So yeah, I think it's probably for the best. This is endorsements. Positive interactions deserve to be celebrated, so endorsements are being optimized for Overwatch 2. There will only be a single endorsement category per match, rather than splitting into 3 different categories, and you will only be able to endorse players on your team. Through this change, positive players will have an easier time achieving and maintaining high endorsement levels. Our goal is that players recognize and aspire to be positive forces in our community, and we plan to award Battle Pass experience to players with high endorsement levels to show our appreciation. Okay, so this is different to live, in which you've got, shot caller, good teammate, and then the other one, which I forget. I don't know, I can't even remember what the other one is. Is it like, no, shot caller, good teammate, whatever the other one is. But basically now there's just one endorsement. So if you think a player's played well, maybe they've got good communication, then maybe they're a good leader, maybe they're just very skillful, you just give them all the same endorsement now. So it makes it easier. So this makes players more likely to use the endorsement system, and then hanging the carrot in front of you of going, well, if you get a good endorsement level, so a lot of people are endorsing you, but then you get Battle Pass XP, will make people nicer in the game. So honestly, I think that's actually a pretty good change. Pre-competitive match screen. As we mentioned, player levels are being removed in Overwatch 2, with experience going towards leveling up your Battle Pass. This means portrait borders that symbolize player level are going away from all game modes in Overwatch 2, and competitive skill tiers will no longer be displayed before each competitive match. Players will have customizable name cards and titles to display alongside their in-game name and player icon. There are a few reasons for this change. We found this to be a pain point for competitive, as some players were passing judgment on their teammates before the match began, causing either explicit or implicit bias to occur immediately. We want to change. We want this change to help players work together by eliminating this potential bias. So there's 2 ways of looking at this. Like, on the one hand, I do like seeing as much information about players in the game. Now, we do have a new scoreboard system in Overwatch 2, so you can see eliminations, damage, healing done, and all of that for your team. So in the match, you'll be able to see who is performing well. However, when you load into a game, and I think a lot of us have been there before, especially if you were like leveling up accounts, or maybe you were on the, in fact, actually being on the border of skill tiers was a big problem in Overwatch. So if you were a very high rated diamond player, but you won sort of, like, let's say you were 3,400 rated, but you keep queuing into Masters games, the Master players would often, they would say, and this would happen quite often, they would go, oh my god, we've got a diamond, that's why we're losing, or oh my god, get this diamond out of my team. When actually the skill, the MMR, the underlying hidden skill rating effectively, which is MMR, has got to be fairly similar to put these players in the same game. Although the SR representation on screen makes it look like there's a massive gulf between these players, which causes a shit ton of toxicity. That's being removed, and I think that's a really good change. So yeah, I think this actually is pretty good. Good job, Blizz. Ping system. The ping system is a new feature in Overwatch 2 that gives players the ability to communicate with their team without having to use voice chat. This system enhances voice communication while also providing alternative ways to share information with your team. We also understand that some players do not wish to participate in voice chat at all. Our hope is that this system is valuable to those players. And yeah, the ping system, guys, is huge, not just for the reasons listed there, but also if you play in Europe, where there's a lot of different languages, not everybody speaks English, and it can be quite difficult to communicate to players. Pinging, everyone knows what a ping means, so it's a massive improvement. But honestly, I would say continue using voice chat and also use the ping. It is absolutely invaluable. It is such a good mechanic, and it should have been in Overwatch from the launch of the game. General chat. The general chat in the game menus is being removed from the game because we found it to be an area where frequent disruptive behavior occurred. General chat doesn't serve a productive purpose, and it could be removed without compromising the core mechanics of the game. Okay, this made me without compromising the core mechanics of the game, removing general chat from the menu screens. Yeah, but we'll put heroes in the battle pass. Wee, woo, wee. So what about these Defense Matrix task forces then? It sounds very American, very militarized. Well, this is what we've got. There's the internal team. Overwatch's internal task force consists of a diverse set of roles from teams across Blizzard. This includes engineers, designers, producers, researchers, data scientists, security analysts, just to name a few. Fair and positive play reaches every group within our task force, and they all had a part in bringing Defense Matrix together. We work as a team to conduct specialized cheat investigations and reverse engineer cheats to understand how they work, how they hide, and how we can prevent them from impacting our players. These teams also conduct targeted deep dives on player sociology to improve our disruptive behavior investigations. So this is a statement from Blizzard of like, we're going to war on people who design hacks and cheats. It's brave because there's going to be hacks and cheats in this game. The question is how effective will this system be? I hope it's very effective because this could literally destroy the game. If it's full of hackers all the time, then yeah, that's not going to be great. Anyway, they go on to say, the external task force. The Defense Matrix task force spans further than the Overwatch team and Blizzard Entertainment. Our external task force includes a broad range of involvement throughout Activision Blizzard King and extending beyond. Overwatch has studied the effects of cheating and disruptive behavior across multiple Activision Blizzard King franchises. In addition, we're working with external partners and security vendors who design anti-tamper, anti-cheat, and anti-reverse engineering technologies. We're also taking a hard stance on encouraging positive behavior and combating disruptive players. Blizzard is a founding member of the Fair Play Alliance, a global coalition that empowers people in the games industry to share best practices, knowledge, and tools to create fair and inclusive spaces in gaming. We work with developers across the industry on how to approach prevention and penalization of disruptive behavior, while also rewarding and encouraging positivity in Overwatch 2, as well as other Blizzard games. Raising our APM for Overwatch 2. Overwatch 2 gives us the chance to continue to level up and iterate on our systems to combat disruptive behavior and cheating in ways that a simple update wouldn't allow. SMS Protect will secure the accounts of all players while combating banned players from creating new accounts to further pollute the experience of others. Our chat tools are being upgraded to catch disruptive language, and audio transcriptions will enable the team to act on abusive voice chat. Cheating protocols are expanded to help us detect, counter, and prevent cheating in Overwatch 2, and all these changes will occur when the game launches on October the 4th. Defense Matrix is an important milestone for our anti-cheating and disruptive behavior plans for Overwatch 2. As the game grows, so will our efforts maintain the long-term health of Overwatch. We'll constantly be working to improve and grow our Defense Matrix to ensure that Overwatch 2 is a fun, fair, and safe game for everyone. All right then, what's the conclusion to all of this? Well, I think firstly, the good news is they're coming out with this pretty lengthy statement and explaining the multifaceted approach, very fancy word there. Basically, they've got a load of different teams and a load of different systems in place to build this Defense Matrix system, which they need because the game has gone free to play. Now, this makes me feel a little bit more secure, knowing that they've got this level of depth to what they're trying to do. Now, obviously, the proof is going to be in the pudding with all this stuff. When the game is live, we're going to see you're going to see tons of TikToks. You're going to see loads of YouTube videos. You'll see loads of streamers cheating, basically. Like, look at my hacks, look at what I'm doing, look how I can do this, how I can break the game. And it's going to be how Blizzard can deal with this. Now, Activision Blizzard itself has had an absolutely terrible past, and it's got a terrible history with Warzone being full of hackers a lot of the time. They've got terrible anti-cheat. They don't really seem to be able to detect players, and it's a right mess. The difference here, though, is there are a lot of barriers to entry. With Warzone, you can basically download the game and jump into a match. You can't do this with Overwatch 2. You need to download the game, play 100 games to unlock the hero roster, then win 50 games to get into competitive. And then, yeah, that's a lot of investment there. So if you are a hacker, that's probably going to put you off a little bit. But I want you guys to let me know in the comments below what you think about all of this. I think this is a positive, overall positive for Overwatch. I don't really think there's many negative aspects to this beyond the whole, like, you know, recording your voice and all of that stuff and discussion on invasion of privacy and whatnot. But hey, like I said, Valorant have got a similar system, and this doesn't seem as invasive as that. And if it helps reduce toxicity and bad actors in the community, then that's probably a good thing. But I still do believe the best way to dissuade people from being toxic is to make the game, force them to not act toxic. And I think there are a few changes in here that do that. Things like removing the rank icon or the tier icon from the loading screen of a match, so you don't get the whole thing of that guy's plat but everyone in this game is diamond, get him out of my match, which you get a lot, and it did cause toxicity. Okay guys, it's been a juicy video, tons of information. I hope you enjoyed it. As ever, I will continue to bring wonderful Overwatch 2 news to you guys as we gear up for launch. It's not that far away now, so yeah, I'm looking forward to it, and I just hope everything goes well. All right guys, thank you for watching, and I will catch you on the next one. See you soon.